Hi traders, it's Chris. Hope you are having a wonderful weekend. This is the weekly Forex forecast. It's a little bit unusual in the fact that we're going to do some coaching sessions today. So in the next few minutes we're going to go into gold on steroids, how it works, why it works, and how you can use it. Just to give you some ideas on the best ways to trade gold and make even more money. I'm going to go into the 1 hour chart on the settings on the advanced pro charts just to give you a flavor of what's going on. This is the website, by the way, and if you're interested in the reversal system, then that is available. This explains how it works. There's a little video here. If you want to get started, you just press on there. What else? If you want to try the system for free, it's there. If you want to buy the charts and start going and getting coaching sessions and updates, market updates, or if you want signals, then that is available. So I'm going to jump into the gold on steroids system that we have, the software, and explain how it works, why it works, and why you should use it, and how you can specifically use it for better trading ideas throughout the day, depending on how much time you have. Of course, time is highly valuable. It's the most valuable thing we have, isn't it? So you don't want to waste it. And if you have a couple of hours during the New York session or a couple of hours during the London session, you can use this too. So if we look on the left from Friday's session, then we can see what was happening here quite clearly. The price was coming up to a very strong demand area. What color are we on? Yellow's fine. We can see that the price is coming up into this very strong supply zone, which has been fouled many times. And that indicates that the price is highly likely to fall. Okay, so selling on supply makes sense, buying on demand makes sense. In addition, you have a sell power of 62. This is highly lucrative and just gives you an idea that the price has gone too far. Of course, and that there has been some big rallies in gold which you can take advantage of. If you prefer, you can just use the 15-minute chart. Just wait for the buy signal. If everything's green, buy. If everything's red, sell. You don't need to go any closer to the market if you don't want to. Okay, so if you have limited time, you know, if you only have half an hour a day, then just use the 15-minute chart on gold and just wait for the sell signal or wait for the buy signal. Okay, simple as that. Now let's get a bit deeper into the market in terms of gold and see what we can do to actually make more money if that's what you want to do. You might not want to, you might want to feel relaxed, and your time is special, so make the most of your time. Now let's sync these two together so we can see where the actual trade can take place. For me, I don't wait for anything. If it's in supply, I will sell it, especially if we've got negative divergence. And so we have what we call convergence, divergence. That's usually good enough with a power above 60. VIP members will know exactly what that means because I discuss that every day. Now this is a 2-minute chart on the left, on the right, it lining up with the 15-minute on the left. See that? So you have a change of character here at 43.50 there, and you have a sell signal on the left at the same time, and all the sellers are in. All the sellers are in. Hold. Squeeze as much profit out of the market as you can. And we can see here from the 2-minute chart, as you get the change of character here, the price just simply slides and slides and slides. Okay, so if you prefer the 2-minute chart to coincide, or if you feel like that you want that extra confidence, go to the 2-minute chart with the settings as previously prescribed and just use them. Now here's what happens here. Now during the day, of course, this is coming up to the London, New York session, 2 p.m. in the afternoon. We can see there's a change here. Everything's gone green on the 2-minute, but it's not a buy, definitely not a buy. We have an outside bar on the left. See how the price has come outside this channel? that indicates that the price is just getting ready to fall, and then you have a break of structure here. So break of structure is really important, and a continuation pattern is emerging. Now during this time there are several events that happen during high volume times, and you can probably see it already. Let me explain. You can see this here, this oscillator here, special settings. We can see that the price is very expensive here. The price is highly likely to fall, and of course it does. And you can easily get 2 to 1 there as an additional trade. Now, so that's an option, and I think it's a fair option, it's a valid option, so it just gives you the confidence to get into the position and go the right way, in the right direction at the right time. And you just hold that position, hold that position. Now, the other option that you can do is use the 5-minute chart. So here's an idea that you can, this is much slower of course, the 5-minute time frame, so you have a change of character here, which is slightly later than the 2-minute chart of course, so that's 43.25, but nonetheless it's still very valid, as you can see. Now the 5-minute chart here, as you can see with the oscillator, it gives you additional opportunities to get into the position even after the change of character here, here is valid, but you're not going to get much out of that with a head and shoulders, left shoulder, right shoulder. Break is possible into Monday morning. Now the other thing that I would say here, as you can see here, if you see a buy signal on the left, all buyers are in, then of course you don't really want to be short here, do you? Okay, so this becomes, the shorts here become invalid. This is valid. Really, really important. This is valid as a sell. This is valid as a sell. This is not valid. Really important to understand that, because at this moment here, look on the left, there's a big fat juicy buy signal. Big fat juicy buy signal with divergence, no convergence, but with divergence in the market building, and then a possible change. Now if you want to get a little bit more aggressive, if that's the right word, or a bit busier, you can go to the 2-minute chart and you can trade that there. Once you get a buy signal on the left, all buys are in, then you can see this change of character here. The change of character here on the 2-minute is valid. However, in this instance you'd be looking for a 1, 2, 3. So that's the 1, the pullback is the 2, and the 3 is above here. So 3 is the trade. 2 times, that's about 250 pips there. Okay, doesn't seem a lot, but the other thing to bear in mind in these markets, your stop loss has to be wider than normal because of the way that gold is. But a very good way to trade gold in particular using the techniques that we have. Don't worry, I am going to go into the markets for next week. There's a few setups which look really good. Dollar is going weaker. If that's going to continue, then we've got some fantastic setups into next week. I just want to go over the 1-hour chart on the advanced pro charts, which some of the VIP members have, some of you don't. But so this is Bitcoin. This isn't the best this isn't the best chart, but nonetheless it's reasonable to explain how it works, why it works, and how you can use it. So we can see here, first of all, we have a change of character here, indicated by this super trend special settings, and then we have a pullback here into the into a supply zone. Now this supply zone is a bit special because it calculates the Fibonacci sequence here. So the Fibonacci of 618 is here, 50% here, and a 32.8 there. It doesn't really matter, but it tells you in colour where the cells are coming in, which you can get into and get 2 to 1. So these are particularly good ways to get into the market on an hourly chart. But what you're looking for in particular, you're looking for a trend to be up, obvious. Okay, green for buy, red for sell. We don't change that system. It's one we've used for many, many years, 35 years. We didn't have computers 35 years ago, so that was a different kettle of fish. But what you're looking for is this pullback here. And a break into this demand zone, and the price goes up, the buy signal, price is buying here, and so on and so forth. I'll give you some examples of this. Where should we go? Let's go to the dollar pair. Shall we? Let's go to the US yen. What does that look like? Haven't seen this for a while. There we go. So yeah, there we go. So when we have an uptrend, everything starts to go green in the background. So buy here, anywhere you like there. 2 to 1 easily. When it went down and change of character here, everything goes red. And then the pullback here. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? And when you see this, remember this, it only happens twice. Can happen a few times, but it only happens twice successfully. All right, so there's your 1 and there's your 2. If you go for 3, it won't work. It's just the way it is. I don't know why. I don't need to know why. But if you see this here, okay, with change of character, there's your, should we call that 1? And there's your 2. Now 3, well, it may well have worked, but it sort of runs out of steam. You may have got 2 to 1 out of that, probably, but nonetheless the third attempt will fail. And if you have 2 very successful trades using this method and 100% return, then move on to something else because it's highly unlikely to work the third time. Hopefully you enjoyed that. So let's go into the markets and see what's happening into next week, and welcome to the weekly Forex forecast for what date is it on Monday? 20th of October. Let's move my big head out of the way. So this is the DXY, as we can see on the advanced pro charts. This is not trending by anyone's imagination, but it is kind of achieving lower highs, isn't it? Lower highs, but flat in terms of the lower lows. It's not channeling, in other words. But however, I do expect the dollar to come into weakness into this week, heading for 96.76 or 93.52. Euro dollar's bouncing off the support, which is fantastic, and heading for 118.74. If you're in the VIP room, then of course you will be following me in this trade as well. Pound USD is not quite as good. As you can see, the structure of this chart is not conducive of the way that we trade, and so therefore I'm not trading the pound USD. It doesn't look as good. Aussie USD does look good, and I do expect this price to continue up, early days of course, but up to 66.50 into next week. The Kiwi is not as good as the Aussie. Can you see that? It's not trending upwards. It's actually looking really weak. So it's one we won't be looking at. Now the US yen is looking particularly attractive to me. I do expect the price to come down deeper into the Fibonacci's here, into some kind of demand, but I'm waiting now for this to come down and then start to move back up again. It's not ready yet. US Canadian, I do expect a retracement into next week with a weaker dollar, so something like this back into this demand area here, where we could see the dollar start to rally, which would help the US Canadian. But at the moment, no trade. It's fine. A beautiful move on the US Swiss. Congratulations if you traded the US Swiss, that is. But it does the exact opposite to the euro dollar, so I haven't traded it. It's no point risking twice. It doesn't make any sense. So look out for dollar next week to go weak. Take advantage of it while you can. Now, I did mention last week that this support area this support area was resistance. Well, that's broken through it now, 66.83. So we're going to have to wait and see where this goes now. It may be that it's just a fake breakout. I think it may come in deeper here into this area here before it does this. I do expect it to fall to 62.78, 62.80. With that in mind, then I do expect the yens to start to rally into next week. Maybe not next week, but certainly for the next couple of weeks. So they're red hot. So with the yens strengthening into resistance, I do expect this price to come down into 186.20 and then start to move up, similar to this situation here and this situation a few weeks ago. Euro yen's been rallying, hasn't it? Very nicely indeed. Congratulations, VIP members who made some money there. But I do, again, very similar situation. All the yens are doing the same thing. I do expect the price to come down into a major demand area, fairly deep, I hope, because that gives us fantastic risk to reward. The Aussie yen is looking exactly that. In fact, it's come into a very strong demand area, so I do expect the price to come up and back up into this area here. 101.80 into this area here is likely, but certainly back to 150 into next week. The New Zealand yen, exactly the same. Do not trade both, please. Don't risk twice. You know, you're risking double your money. They do exactly the same thing most of the time. New Zealand yen, Aussie yen. Sometimes they have favouring things going on, but this is going at 89 next week. Canadian yen looks really good actually. I like this a lot. And so I do expect to bounce into this area here into next week, and then on to 111 is the target. So I will be trading this probably as soon as Monday. Once again, we can see the pound yen not quite there, not quite deep enough for us. I want to see the price come into a very strong demand area like this, where it's likely to bounce. So I think this is going to come in deeper with a weaker sterling, and then I'll wait for confirmation before we go long. The indices are looking really mixed actually. We are seeing a rally in terms of the S&P 500. Continued, been on for several months, hasn't it? So if you traded this, congratulations. But hesitating at the moment. Same with the FTSE 100, looking very good for another position to go long. Hit our target from last week, but we're waiting now for the continuation pattern to occur. Probably will. The Hang Seng has changed direction, change of character here. So we're going to have to wait and see. The Aussie 200 hit our target of 90.28. Congratulations from last week's weekly Forex. This is what you're looking for, chaps. Just look for this price to come into a very strong demand area and just buy it. Just buy it. Keep it simple. Beautiful. DAX, German DAX is looking good for another rally to 24,433. Dow Jones is looking flat. Oil is looking weak, but hitting a very strong demand area with very strong divergence. So we may find that we're going to get a little bit of a rally here into next week. This has failed to break $57 several times in the last few months. Very interesting. I've got a short here on Euro Aussie. As you can see, it's coming to supply here, and failed to go any higher with an outside bar. These outside bars are amazing. Look out for those. This is a reversal. This is a correction rather than a reversal or continuation pattern. So we do expect the price to come into 177.20 into next week. The pound Aussie, we got stopped out on that. I think it was minus 53 pips or whatever. It doesn't matter. it's irrelevant because we make so much money when we get it right. And so we do expect the price to react into the next few days. It may come in a bit deeper, so it can rally a little bit more, maybe into this supply zone, but I don't think it's going to actually come in this deep. It will probably come into about this area before it starts to move back to 203.11 into next week. Look out for that. This is red hot. Just flicking through, as I say. I'm just flicking through. This is my analysis. It takes me seconds. The Aussie Canadian looking very nice, coming into a not so deep, but certainly an area of interest. So we do expect the price to come back up to 92.20. So what I'm looking for is that opportunity where the price has come into a major demand area. That's all. That's all. Takes seconds. Bitcoin, we're looking a bit messy, isn't it? Euro pound looking. So on euro pound, this is something that you're not interested in, but I'm looking for the price to come into this area here. If it's doing this, it's easy. If it's doing this and coming into this area, I'm interested. That makes sense. So if you want to become or join my team or join the VIP room or want the signals or you want the charts or you want anything at all, I'm there for you. I'll support you in your trading journey. Have a wonderful weekend.